Testing.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, you good.
Alright, my mic was jacked up and I went on a tirade. I have to reiterate a little bit, but it's all good. Sorry about that, New Gaming Order. Um, like I was saying, but while you couldn't hear my voice, I called it. There you go, right there. Courtesy of Event Hubs. The grooves and the Infinity Stones are going to be. I called it. I knew that it was going to be like that. So that's good, but it's going to be kind of like a downer. But it's a new game. We have to not have Marvel superheroes in mind in any way. We're moving into the future, so each stone would allow you to fight a certain way. I called it, and it's funny how they put the freaking Capcom versus SNK stuff in the picture in the back. But with that, T-Risk, what are your thoughts on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and the stones acting more as grooves as opposed to like superficial power-ups?
Uh,
Did we lose T-Risk?
no. I think he just.
I thought you took your Nelson first.
No, he said you.
No,
Oh,
no.
he cut out for me, so I couldn't hear it. Yeah, this is something I think maybe they should go with. As far as like some of the things concerned, like with how they're trying to change up the battle system,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is probably one of the better changes because it doesn't quite give X Factor,
Mm-hmm.
but you can try to use Power Stone as an X Factor, but you won't get all of its benefits. You won't get
Mm-hmm.
the health regen. You won't get the like faster attacks, but
Yeah.
you'll get the damage boost.
Mm-hmm.
And
Interesting.
it gives you one thing, but not all the others, and that is probably one of the best ideas to go about this.
Yeah.
Maybe characters like Morgan won't get Darkness Illusion,
Mm-hmm.
but if she uses one of the stones, she'll be able to mimic it,
Okay. Okay.
but not quite with all the other benefits like the health regen and like being able to move faster.
Yeah.
So it might be able to balance itself out, more so specifically since you can play to counteract certain stones instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nelson, um, your thoughts? Do you think that they did the right thing with going with a more groove-esque style for the stones?
I mean, that's to prevent multiple stones being overwhelmed to the user, unlike how it was in Marvel superheroes. It makes it more practical now that you have to pick one gem, and that one gem dictates your play style. So if you have the power gem, that's all you're gonna be doing is nothing but heavy hitting damage. You use the infinity
Mm-hmm.
stuff, you do this. Use the time one, you go super fast, and you do more of I guess to say like a non-restriction combo. Like you're not limited no more. Like you could do ground bounces, you could do off the wall stuff, you can
Mm-hmm.
air combo, stuff like that. But it's a good idea, even though like again we haven't seen practical usage of every single Infinity Stone. It's kind of hard to say. So if you guys don't release any betas or demos or anything like that for us, the fans, to test this stuff out, you can't technically say if this is going to be a good feature or not.
Well, looking at the article from Event Hubs, the initial reaction to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Stones involved, bad, flashbacks, as we had mentioned with the cross Tekken nonsense. But
Hmm.
they're saying it's not gonna act like X Factor, so that should be.
Well, technically it is because it's a comeback factor. There's no question about it. It just is not going to be overwhelming. Like you get hit once at level 3 X Factor and you're at half health. It's not going to be like that no more.
I thought it was more than that.
Nah, a punch is half health in Marvel. I was just playing it.
What the heck? All right, so hold on. Let me go back into Discord. Okay, Project Justice. What are your thoughts on a versus game going with a Groove S type setup?
Personally, it's much better than X Factor. It's more diversity, and when I first thought, like you mentioned, the first thing that came to your mind was Tekken, Shiva versus Tekken, one of the gems.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the first thing that came to my mind was Marvel superheroes. With the time gem, the mind gem, and you gain those power ups. Yeah. So, I mean, this is the nice new, little twist to balance it out. That's what it comes down to. To me, it's a balanced decision because you're gonna have a roster of 50 characters or whatever, 25, 30 each side, whatever the amount comes out to. And, it's tough balancing that many characters. So, And if you throw in gems and, you come out one character that could just destroy everybody. I mean, they're trying to balance the game out. Mm-hmm. Playing field for every character so everybody has a character they like and is, competitive. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a great idea. This is the first time I'm actually excited for a versus game since Marvel Superheroes Street Fighter.
That was my game, but
that was my game as well. But I really fell off the Marvel train once they went from 6 buttons to 4 buttons, and then the assist. It's just too much for me. Like I tried playing Ultimate versus Capcom 3, and I can play it for fun. But anybody that knows anything, like even a beginner player or intermediate player, would destroy me. It's just too much. I can't. I guess I can't play a game that I need to know the assist that much because it was really assist heavy dependent. It's too much for me. I want the game to be the character that's out there dependent, and the assist should be a supplement, not the core mechanic. And that's why I just couldn't do it.
Now there were some people I used to destroy them in everything up until Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yes.
Then you get Ultimate, right? And I'm getting destroyed by noobs. I'm like, what the heck? Like, who is this? There was one guy we used to play with, Wolfhard. Wolfhard was acting like he was a pro, bro.
Wolfhard.
I'm like, all right, for real? Hold on 1 second.
Because it's on delay.
Give me a second. Yeah, so, what was happening, Wolfhard was botting me with Dante, and I'm like, man, bro, if it was the older games, you wouldn't even, be able to touch me. It was like me, Shinwar, Nelson, another guy named Claude, there was a whole bunch of people that were at where my level was. Now, if I was, doing FGC tournaments back in the day with the original Versus games, I would probably be, going to East Coast Throwdown and stuff like that. I was that good. Then you bring this out, I'm like, really? Completely lost my appetite for a versus game, and that's where I did the whole mini Thor attack hammer thing to my Ultimate Marvel disc. So,
but can I speak in on that? Not to cut you off. The original Versus series games wasn't as complicated as the new Marvel game is now, and I will explain why. The old Versus series, it wasn't technical. If you knew how to do infinites, that's different. But if you're talking about something
hard to achieve though, you had to really get strict timing on that.
This strict timing in Ultimate Marvel 2, everything is one frame, and a lot of people just don't want to press buttons, and that's what pushes people away. They want to be able to do maybe, I don't know, a 7-8 hit combo, digress, take a break, step back, and start over. A lot of people is not used to overwhelming 300 hit combos to get unleashed upon them. Those are for I call them the anime fighters they love to push buttons. So as long as
Guilty
they're pushing
Gear
a
is one of
button, yeah, Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue,
Skullgirls,
Skullgirls, Marvel,
Vista
Vista the North Star. You have a bunch of them, and if you're not clicking buttons in a 1 or 2 frame time interval, you're not gonna get your combo. And I always tell people, you get very discouraged in playing because you always get hit first. But I guarantee and promise you, you land that first hit and you know your combo, you will have the same exact effect on that person. They will start bitching, they will start complaining, and they're like, oh, this game is mad fucking cheap. Because they're getting beat.
He said Fist of the Shinwar. Get him out of here. Kick him out the chat. Unbelievable. What's going on, Shinwar? Unbelievable. But, you know, I agree with what you're saying, and you made a valid point. The problem with the new Versus games that I hope Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite does not have is if you get that first bite, that's it. It's like, oh, you're done. You know what I mean? Like, I just hate the fact that, you know, a game like that needs combo breakers with strict timing, like we had talked about on our other shows when we were kind of having our wish list. But
it's going to be very limited because even Tatsunoko only had one break, and then if you fuck up that break, you're still going to get wrecked.
But at least you have it. At least you have it. You know what
I'm saying? I don't think that's going to change the mindset of people, dude. Because
no, it's not about mindset. It's more or less like that acts has a counter breaker or a combo breaker, right? At least you have something to get them off you for a second, you know? But not in Ultimate Marvel, you get blown up, you're sitting there dropped in the controller getting your behind whooped. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite cannot have that. I'm telling you, like, I'm just one of many people, but like if that's the route that they go with, and hopefully like with the stones, like one stone gives you like a parry or something, or break or combo breaking or armor or something, like this way it'll kind of level the playing field. Because I saw somebody with Virgil, once he got that down kick and you're blocking like the overhead, okay, get it, learn to block your overheads and so on. But once the combo gets started, you're just watching a comic book, like you're getting destroyed.
Alex, people come to Marvel now not to watch a fight, but to see someone get destroyed these days.
Yep.
That is what Marvel versus games have become ever since people have like really started to understand that these games have infinites. These games have infinites that go on from character to character.
Yeah.
You just have to hit them right. And that is how the game has now evolved to play.
Well, you have to hit it
and
right.
People,
oh my god! Oh, this is a kid's show. No, this is far from it.
and people have grown accustomed to that style of play. That's why when like Tatsunoko came out, the competitive crowd played it for a while, but it was like this is a Marvel. Get this out of my face.
Yeah.
Where's my infinites? Why does this guy get a burst, a mega crash, just because he has 2 bars?
Then that means they wouldn't be playing Guilty Gear, so it's what it is. But for
that's why they don't play Guilty Gear.
Yeah, Guilty Gear has so many tools. Like the depth is so great that. But for the sake of time, I'm gonna give Project Justice a chance to speak on. You know, hopefully they don't have OTGs. Well, they do have OTGs, but hopefully, yeah, you can have them, but at least provide a tool to defend yourself. But
at least one of the Infinity Gems or the Infinity Stones should be a burst of some
kind. A burst, yeah. Maybe the Space Gem or something, like who knows. But Project Justice, your thoughts on, you know, what? Hopefully they don't have any of those ridiculous, like have the combos, fine, but have a way to stop them and make it a skilled escape as opposed to like, oh yeah, freebies, like a combo breaker, you know, like have some meter, expend the meter, have some breathing room. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it definitely needs a breaker. I mean, but you know what it could do? They could add like a V reversal, like a Street Fighter 5 for the character and use a meter. So that could be a universal system to could add. You know? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be, you know, like the X Factor, because the X Factor was the combo breaker back in the days. I mean, you could actually make it part of a subsystem of the game, like in Street Fighter 5 with the reversal, and you sacrifice something, or even sacrifice your gem. Maybe you have a gem stock and you have to sacrifice your gem. Like, I don't know, but you definitely need something like that, because it's all about being blown up, and you got to give somebody a chance to stop that being blown up, because Marvel is all craziness. You cannot have it all one lopsided, because if you get that one hit, like Nelson was saying, and you got that down pack, it's over. Like, it's over.
Wait, who was that guy that got hit with the perfect in Ultimate Marvel?
I'm talking about Apology Man, that when he was fighting Zach Bennett.
Not one hit. Not one
Well, again,
hit.
but you have to realize that those are two pro players, and they have the tools. One side can punish and beat them with a 100% combo, and so can the other. That's just how the game is played. Is to intensify the action, because it makes you feel.
Nelson, that's the only game like that. There's no way. I can't.
There's actually more games than Marvel that does the exact same thing. It's just that no one plays them.
You know what? I want to see video on this, man. Like, tomorrow, because I'm gonna have to cut the podcast short. But tomorrow I want to see this, because who wants to play a game like, okay, you're playing games like Victorious Boxers or Fight Night or whatever. Imagine playing one of those boxing games, right? And then somebody just out of nowhere okay, well, boxing kind of, you can see that, like somebody just come outside, wail on you, knock you out. Okay, UFC, same thing. But at least you can start swinging too. In this, like, once you start getting blown up, you can't even push a button to respond. You're like in a stunned state, getting robbed of your energy, getting smacked up by a pimp with a long feather, like Saints Row. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But, with that, I'm going to bring this segment to a close. And I possibly do one last topic, which is going to be like it's like micro topic level. But please make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Newgamingorder.com for the latest and greatest. And we will see you on the next segment. Peace.